Now let us see how to design the invoice format. In order to design the invoice format, some data must be there in a voucher. In order to get the data, we are using this edit previous, then use this print. When we use this print, then we will be getting a dialog box. So where we have to choose this create option. By default, there will not be any layout. In order to create the layout, we use this create. By default, in this body part will appear, so that is particulars in which product name will be printed, quantity, rate and gross. These columns will appear by default. In order to include a new column, we use this add column. If we require discount column to be included, in this add column we will find all these tables. So from this transaction category, type the name discount. A new column is included. So drag and drop wherever you want. In order to include any static text, we use this static text. Let it be like we require a heading called sales invoice. In order to change the font, we use this. So the font will be changed. Every layout will have one name, say invoice. We want to save this layout with the name invoice and use this save. Next, if company name heading is required, then we use this add variables. In this you will find miscellaneous category. From this miscellaneous you can include company name. To align in a center, we use this center option. To change the font, it will be like this. If you want to delete anything, then we use this delete. Next is we require a company address, so that can be included through add variables. Same miscellaneous category, company address. So whatever address we have recorded at the time of company creation, that address will appear in this. While creating company, we have not given any address, that's why address is not appearing. If we have entered the address, then automatically that address will appear. Next is we require customer name to be printed over here. If any static text is required, like build to before the customer name, for that we are using static text. Then include account name variable. Account name will be the customer name. In this we are having two types of data. One is static text, which is fixed, which will not change from voucher to voucher. For every invoice, for every document, this static text will remain unchanged, while variable data will be changing from invoice to invoice. In this invoice number 5, the customer name may be different. In some invoice number 6, the customer name may be different. That customer name will appear in place of this variable. So next, if we require invoice number, then add variables, transactions. Voucher number is a invoice number. We got this voucher number. If any text is required before this voucher number, we can include through static text. In order to include the date, we use this add variables transaction then date. Invoice date will be printed in this variable. To have a static text before date, we use this static text and type the name. If customer's address is also required, then account address will be the customer address. Here you will find little bit difference is there. So both are not appearing in a same line. In order to make them in a order, we use this. By pressing Ctrl, select the fields, then use this align items, then align tops. Tops will be aligned exactly. In order to align lefts, so by pressing Ctrl, select the fields, then use this align lefts. It will be aligned exactly into this left. In order to have a border for the invoice, we use this draw object, then box. A box will appear. So drag the box from the upper left corner. In order to have a line, we use the same draw object option. There you will find this line. The line will appear in this corner. Drag from the corner, and in order to drag the line also, we have to drag from the left. To have a vertical line, use same draw object only. A line will appear here. Drag. So as per the requirement, we can have, in order to increase the column width, we use this. Double click on this column and increase the width. We can drag and drop also. To have some terms and conditions in the footer, so let us take some static text. Some text like authorized signatory. as in the company master we have not entered any address, so if we enter any address, then the same address will be printed in the invoice. In the same way, for any customer's account, say for us, if we have entered any address, the same address will be printed in the invoice. Let us check that. So the same address, company's address is appearing here. In the same way, Faraz address is appearing over here. If the city of the customer is also required, then we have to include account city over here. So as per the requirement, we can design the invoice. In order to insert the logo, we use this add bitmap. So the logo file must be in a BMP format. We can include the logo into this layout. So here to directly print we are using this, to view the preview we are using this, to change the font, to include the variable, to include the new column, this is to include the logo, static text, to include the static text. In order to draw the object we are using these things. Properties for any particular field, if that field is to be printed only on the first page or it must be printed on the last page, we can set through properties. In order to delete any variable we are using this. In order to align the variables we are using this align items. In order to delete the layout we use this delete layout. This is how to design the invoice format. Next time if you want to modify anything, then we use this modify. Only to view the preview we use this preview. Directly preview will appear. In order to modify we use this. Directly after selecting a layout, if we click on OK, it will be printed. This is how to create a new layout. We have created the layout in this company, that is in XYZ showroom. So we require the same layout in some other company, say some ABC. In this ABC company there will not be any layout. We may require the same layout over here. So in order to get the same layout, we use this tools, import document print designs. In order to import the layout design, we must know the layout number. Every layout will have one number. So just now we have created one layout. For this, the layout number is 1P02. We have to view this number. The same layout can be imported into some other company, or we can import in the same company also. So we have opened one more organization. In this we may require the same layout. Then we use this tools, import document print designs. Here choose the data folder, that is E focus 6RT data. The layout number was 1P02. Choose the layout and click on open. The same layout will appear in this company also. Let us check this. The same format we got into this company also. Not necessary to design once again from the scratch. Directly they can use the existing layout.